Well, hello, guys and gals. So lately I've been mulling this concept of creating a textured frame directly on a canvas for a portrait painting. My concept is for a larger canvas, but I wanted to test it out first on a smaller one to see if it would even be worth it. I'm pleased to say that I think it was, and this is how I did it. My thought for this 18 by 24 inch canvas was to create the illusion of someone looking out from a hole in a wall. So I sketched out roughly, then started applying coarse pumice gel. Because I didn't want all of the texture to be like this really uniform kind of everything is the same, I used a mixture of modeling paste, fiber paste, and crackle paste in different places so it didn't appear to be too uniform. While my texture was still workable, I used a small flathead screwdriver to create some larger cracks. Once it was completely dry, I gessoed the entire canvas. It's that magical time, the time to add color. Using acrylics, I start with red oxide. Acrylic inks are a great way to cover a lot of ground without using a lot of product. A spray bottle with water helps it spread over a large surface area. So I'm using a combination of burnt umber and burnt sienna, kind of keeping with this warm theme for right now because I will be covering it up with other colors and then toning it down. So I'm using a combination of cerulean blue and light phthalo blue, and the burnt umber and burnt sienna are still a little bit wet, so you get these variations of this kind of green, brownish color and the blue color. Using a sea sponge, I'm deepening some of the colors, the cerulean blue, the burnt umber, and the red oxide. I also start incorporating some cadmium orange. These colors seem really intense and blocky at first, but I'll be knocking them back a bit with the layering process. Like, trust me, they look really, really blocky, but I know what I'm doing! As you can see, I am attempting to make those screwdriver cracks a little more visible. I think that actually worked out pretty well. Now you can see them. I think I might write a song called My Friend the Sea Sponge. I seem to use it an awful lot, but it is an extremely useful tool. So, I am lightening some of these areas up, and I'm going in with a whitewash. Remember I said I'd be knocking those colors back? Well, that is exactly what I'm doing. So I'm basically taking some titanium paint that's mixed with water, and I've already sprayed the surface too with water, and then taking a paper towel and kind of removing some of that paint so those colors are not going to be so intense. And once again, reunited with SpongeBob, my little companion, I am creating a vignette so it ends up looking kind of like a hole. So my birthday's coming up. Guess how old I'm gonna be? Yup, that's right. As far as I'm concerned, a painting is not complete without some drippage. So I sketched out a little face in the center of my strategically placed cavern, and then did a rough acrylic underpainting to block in some color. I love doing acrylic underpaintings before oil painting because, number one, you don't have to wait long for it to dry, and number two, acrylics are extremely forgiving. If you don't like it, you can paint over it in like 5 minutes. It's a really great way to do an underpainting. Because I already have a basic color scheme established with the acrylics, this makes the oil painting process pretty easy. When doing a portrait painting with oils, I tend to stack colors next to colors. I only blend in certain areas. When I get to the flowers, you'll see that they are much more abstract, mainly comprised of blocks of color placed next to each other. One of the things that I am doing with the skin tone is that I use some cooler pinkish tones in the acrylic underpainting, so it actually makes it a lot easier for me to see that and warm up the skin tone accordingly when I work with the oil paint. So this is what I was talking about with the flowers, how I'm just placing colors next to colors. If you look at a subject such as a flower and you think of it as just being shapes of color, so it makes it really easy to create the illusion of a flower by just putting blocks of color next to each other. The flyaway hairs are what helps to create movement in the painting. I use a very thin brush with paint that has a lot of my thinner mixed in and very lightly drag it across the surface. And that's it. The painting is completed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye!